And we're live. Welcome everyone. This is Q&A number 14 for the Happy Life Results book reading group. And we are here with the author Stacey McPherson. And we'll just do a little bit of announcements. We're opening up for any questions you have. We also have questions that have been submitted earlier that we will discuss. And just happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome everyone. We're so happy to be here.
First announcement, in case you missed it before, Stacey is now putting out some of, what? It's Stacey.
I changed it.
It's from Stacey. It's not
So what do we do?
Do we need to, it's good? Okay.
I just need you to
Oh yeah, when you download it.
Okay,
Okay.
but I'm the one that downloads.
Technical issue. So the first announcement is, in case you missed it last week, Stacey has started to put out the hero stage type questions. So all of the guide stage questions, when she posts the individual ones, are in the blue color. If you've caught on to the theme there, blue is the guide color. And so if you're reading the physical book, you'll see that all of the guide concepts they have blue associated with them. So we went through the stage 1 preview, now we're in stage 2, the translation. All of that is theoretical, all of that is kind of in a guide mindset. Now we're going to shift very soon. We're going to be moving into the hero stage. Hero stage is all application, like practical steps. How do you apply this stuff in real life? Put it to use. See how it works when you're actually out there in the real world.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just a spoiler too is that the guide section, we went over the material. Then the translation stage, we went over the same material, but we translated it. And guess what? In stage 3, there's new material. So you have that to look forward to.
Yes.
And it's some of the best stuff, guys. Yeah. I'm so excited
We've
to share it.
been leading up to it because once you get to the part where you're trying to actually make changes in your life with a new system, not with the traditional method, there are completely new tips and things to apply things in the application, physical, doing something different.
Yes.
In a different way.
And I'll share tons more from personal experience, my transformation, how the steps that I went through, the things that I did, the things that helped me to go through this transformation. If
you wanted to be everyone in sync when we hit the hero stage, so you're ready to do it all together, let's just give them a quick, you're about 2 weeks out from the hero stage. So if you're a little bit behind where we're at as far as the day-to-day, keeping the touch-ups day-to-day, you have about 2 weeks to catch up if you wanted to hit the hero stage all together as one group.
Yeah, which we would love it if we could be all together, because there's so much more opportunity so many more opportunities to share, to interact, to say, this is how I'm applying it, how are you guys applying it, and a lot of back and forth. That's what we're really welcoming, that kind of interaction.
So the most important thing for the group, as far as the orange question, whenever you see an orange colored comment thing, whereas the blue was kind of for theoretical, what we're asking and recommending in order to gear up for the hero stage, whenever you see an orange one, make some kind of comment, take some kind of action. Just get used to the orange ones require action.
Yes.
And even if your action is to say, oh, I failed terribly, that you just the idea is action, action, action.
Yes.
So if you see an orange one, please take a moment to just make some kind of comment, some kind of reaction to it, so that you kind of gear up for that approach to the hero questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys hear the blender?
I think you've only posted 2 so far, orange ones.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen them yet, go look for them. One has to do with exercise. The topics she picks are just, right now, it's just kind of a random question. Just to kind of...
Something that's really easy to answer.
Yeah. So those ones aren't tailored specifically to where we're at. It's just to kind of throw something out to get some interaction and get you used to the hero ones. When we hit the hero stage, they will be very specific to the concepts and very specific to the progress we're making together. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you saw the orange ones and didn't realize what they were, that's why they're orange and that's what's intended. They're gearing us up for the hero stage. Okay?
Exactly, yeah.
Any other things you wanted to mention about the hero stage and the orange ones before we move to the next?
Just a quick reminder about the playground, how we'll post that every Friday. And when people are new to the group and they post things, we're encouraging them, we private message them and say, hey, there is a place for that. Put it in the playground. Anything that you want to do that you think would benefit the whole group. Even inspirational quotes or, you know, I saw this great YouTube video or TED Talk or something, like anything that's meaningful to you that you think would benefit the group, that's where it goes in the playground.
And we'll have different engagement rules when we hit the hero stage. It's going to be a little different there.
That's true.
So,
That's a good thing to point out.
Yeah, so letting you know when we hit the hero stage, there will be other opportunities to share and contribute to the post in the discussion, as well as the comments on individual posts.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that as well.
Yes, really looking forward to it. Hey Daniel, oh my gosh.
Cool.
Yeah. So our questions?
One other thing on the topic of when new people come into the group, you've probably seen a few new names. If you're paying attention, there are a few more.
Yeah, we have about 50 new people.
50 new people. Welcome to everyone new.
Yes.
We hope you're able to pick up on this Q&A live. Obviously, you're at a different stage than the people who start at the very beginning. That is totally fine. You go at the pace you're at, and you can ask questions at any stage. We'll answer them on the Fridays.
Yes.
So if you're on day 4 and you have a question, you ask the question in the comments under day 4. We will see the comment come up, and when it hits the Q&A, we'll talk about it here.
Yes.
Sometimes we'll make comments right there if it's something that is just for you. But if it's something that would benefit the whole group, then we're going to bring it up in the Q&A live.
Yeah.
So please make your comments, put your questions wherever you're at. Just keep taking one. The best is at every single day, just make it a habit of doing just a really quick.
Yeah, we call it daily touch up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to keep moving forward. Take those tiny steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's all for the announcements. We're going to move to the questions and answers. And the first one, Stacy, has to do with if you're trying. Okay, so there's the whole approach to how do you get yourself to do things. What about if you're trying to influence someone else to do something that you know they want to, you're trying to support them, or you're trying to influence them to do something they don't want to, but you know it'd be good for them? How do you approach it with, because the traditional method is to kind of push.
Oh yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about?
Yeah, let's just talk about the traditional
Okay.
method
All
just
right.
for a second. So as a parent, this one is just so prevalent. The way that you get kids to behave or to, you know, do any kind of chores or do their homework. A lot of times in the traditional system, you offer rewards or bribes, you know, you pray or even praise, but it's you get them to do something, but you do it in a way that motivates them with pain point pressure. So up until this point, you guys have probably heard in the videos and the text talking about pain point pressure, where you use dissatisfaction or unhappiness as the motivator to get you to do something. And so if you're influencing other people in the traditional system, you will use guilt, shame, pain, even demanding, begging. You're coming from this space where you're using pain to motivate them. It's just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. I think it's a common practice for the moms to count to 3.
Yes.
And like, as soon as they start counting 1, 2, you know, whatever it is they're asking you to do, whatever is going to happen at 3 is going to be bad. So you just got to just move. But that's pressure, you know, like something bad is going to happen if you don't. So one thing about pain points from our discussions is they work for temporary action.
Yeah.
So if it's get out of the road, there's a car coming, and someone's not listening, a pain point, look out, you're about, you know, some kind of fear, some kind of pressure will work for a temporary action.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about influence. How do you influence people, someone other than yourself, to try to get them to either take actions they want or take actions that you think will be good for them that maybe they're not aware of or they're opposed to or something like that. How do you influence this? And by the way, this is something that's not specifically in the book. This is, since we have Q&A, someone had a question about it. They've got someone they want to influence to do something good. The person is resisting.
Yeah.
How do you do it when the person is resisting? And especially, how do you do it in a way that is better for the relationship? So those are two different things.
Yes.
And it depends on whether it's a short, quick action
Yeah.
or it's a long-term action.
Yes, and when it's the short, quick action and you get the response, sometimes it's tempting to go, oh, I got them to change, so I want to keep doing this. But it's not long-term change, and they're actually not changing. They're just behaving.
Yeah,
changing their behavior.
Let's say it's taking out the trash. Do you really want to stand over them every single week and count to 3 to get them to take the trash out every single week? How many moms are like, how many times have I told you? But if you're using pain points and pressure every single time, then it's possible it's going to take pain points and pressure every single time.
Yes, and what will that do to the relationship, the long-term relationship? Sometimes, well, I've experienced this firsthand when a child has a chore that needs to be done. Whenever they walk past, instead of, hey, how are you? How was your day? How are
it's
you?
Like, oh, don't let mom see me.
Yeah. Because she's going to say, take out the trash.
Did you take out the trash?
Do your homework. Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of create this wall. If you become the bully in the other person's life, we're calling it bully when you're using pain points to push someone to do something.
Yeah.
If you become the bully in their life, just realize that will have ramifications on the relationship and what kinds of interactions you can have.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it kind of corners you into that role of being the bully, and so then that's your role now. You're the bully, and so it's hard to break out of that and have the kind of relationship that maybe would be ideal for you and that other person.
And it may be that the person, the only way that they've used on themselves to get them to do things is using the pain points and bully. So they might even be tempting and inviting you to become the bully so that they can get it done. Like even like giving you all of the signs that I want you to bully me to get it done because I do want to do it, but I'm not going to do it until I have something pushing me. Like the kid who doesn't even hear their mom until they start counting.
Yeah, they block
it's
block
like
it out.
They don't even notice. It hasn't hit the threshold. Oh, they're counting. Oh, what do you want me to do? All right. So if you use pain points as your influence, recognize that it's going to have those same ramifications and it will influence the relationship. So there are alternatives to that in the land of Up. It's not really a different land. But there are ways to influence that don't require the pain points and that can encourage, if you have a really close relationship with someone, love. Think about the motivations of love. When you love someone and you want the very best for them, how do you approach anything and everything that you think that they want? It's a completely different than if someone's pushing you.
Yeah, but people who love people still push with.
Yes, I'm talking about the situation where okay, of course, if you push someone, that doesn't mean you don't love them.
Yeah, that's
what
what I wanted to clarify.
Okay. I push them, that means I don't love them. No.
No.
But the same when you enjoy something inherently. Let's just say you enjoy playing a certain game. No one has to push you to go do it, right?
Right.
Same idea if you have a relationship of love.
Yeah.
And there's clear communication, then they can enjoy doing things to please, and it doesn't have to be push, right? Okay, so there's a lot to go into.
I know. It's so good though. We could just talk a little bit about unconditional love. Do you think that would be good?
Maybe as the final thing.
Okay.
Let's just talk really quick, because maybe one of the reasons this question came up is it okay to influence?
Yeah. And that's something I've struggled with.
Right? Is it okay to try to get someone to do something. Isn't that manipulative? Isn't that, isn't that wrong to push someone to try to get them to do something else that they're not trying to do, or they don't even want to do? They've said they don't want to do, but you think it would be good for them. Where does influence fit in?
Okay, so something
this?
that's really helpful to know is that whatever you're doing to influence, or however you want to label it, whenever you are using your influence to get someone else's behavior to change, realize that they have full autonomy to do what you're influencing them to do or not do. So sometimes we feel like, oh, it's not okay to influence because then I'll be forcing their hand, or I'll be, doing something that's not in their best interest, even though you do have their best interests at heart. But to realize that they can choose at any point. Even children can choose, and you can see it all the time, right? Children do choose what they want.
And right hand in hand with that is, even if you're not using the bully and push when you're influencing them, they could be doing it to themselves.
Could do it themselves.
That full autonomy extends to how they interpret everything that you do.
Yeah.
And everything that you do is going to go through their story, their lens, and it might not be an actual representation of what you're intending and what you're trying to do. So recognize they have that freedom.
Yeah, and when you're recognizing that they have that freedom, realize that when you do take actions to influence their behavior, and that they can decide to do whatever, whether they respond to that influence and do what you're influencing or not, realize that they will probably create a story about your influence that may be completely wrong.
Yeah. And even if you're not intentionally trying to influence, they're probably interpreting things that are already influencing them. So if you're trying not to take an active role, guess what? You probably still are influencing them. So if you have a chance to take an active role that you think will help,
take that one.
Yeah, don't hesitate.
Because they may be even making you into the bully that you're not. Just by the way that they fabricate their experiences with you, the story they're telling in their head about how you feel about them. They could create a story that says, I just had a couple of things happen this week where someone told me, oh, my husband's probably thinking this. And I was like, no, he could be thinking the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's a whole topic about how we think we know what other people are thinking, what their intentions are, and stuff like that. We are out of time.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that we can say, but just as a quick recap, we're look for the hero, the orange colored things. Put some kind of comment, some kind of, hey, I recognize this is the hero stage type thing.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah, any comment. It doesn't have to be a direct. We just want to see. Get started into I'm taking action when I see the hero ones, because then when we hit the hero stage, you'll be already used to and more likely to be able to take the actions you want in the hero stage. Yeah.
Yep, and then just to recap what we just talked about with influence, just to realize that when you use pain point pressure, you may get a short-term behavioral change, but it may affect the long-term relationship, and it may pigeonhole you into the role of the bully going forward. So to realize you can use an alternate method, not using pain points, and that it can give you a long-term close relationship with this person, a loving relationship where you're wanting to do things for each other and with each other. And then also to realize that people will assume they know what you're trying to get them to do, even if you're not. And so they'll fabricate a story that says, my mom wants me to do this, my husband wants me to do this, he's not happy with this, he wants me to change this. We make it up all of the time. Just really quick, this week he poked himself in the eye just after I finished saying a whole paragraph of things, and his response to me seemed like he didn't like at all what I said.
And I was just looking to see if she noticed, and I just smacked myself in the face.
I didn't notice, I just saw his expression and I thought,
he really didn't like what I just said. So 2 things based on the interpretation. One is recognize that other people are probably misinterpreting or interpreting in their own way what you're doing. So if you have a chance to clarify, and you may be doing this about other people. So give yourself a chance to reconsider what you think they mean, and see if you're actually maybe reading something into it that's not already there.
Yeah.
Okay?
They may have just poked themselves.
Yeah,
in
they
the
may have
eye.
just smacked themselves in the face and they're seeing if you noticed. So, okay, well, thanks for
All
joining
right,
us,
take care,
everyone.
everybody.
We will see you next week, or
Bye.
we'll see you tomorrow. Ding.